global warming, it's not a thing. What's going on, everybody? Devil's Advocate here. So this video, it's a little bit more of a thought project. It's about global warming. Now, this is going to be controversial, right? So this is, first of all, before I even get into it, this video is by somebody who used to believe in global warming and climate change. Now, global warming and climate change is two different things, even though they're used interchangeably. It's not the same thing, but I digress. Just for most people, it's the same thing. This is coming from somebody who used to believe in global warming like everybody else did, right? I was like, it's a thing. Global warming is a thing. We're doing this. We're creating this problem. We're doing this. All of the fossil fuel burning, all the cattle farting and all the mess that they're creating and all the industrial, complex stuff that we got going on is destroying our planet. I believed that my entire life. Now, consider this. What if, just think about this for a second. Because remember, I like to think about things from all angles. Consider for a moment that we are not so significant and we have no right to put ourselves on the pedestal to believe that in the grand scheme and astronomical timeline of the earth and how long it's been here, that human beings, we've been here for a blip of that timeline, and we think that we are so powerful that we can cause the level of destruction that we think is being caused right now. We think that we're responsible for that. We think that we can change it. So my question to you is, are we really causing all that? Is NASA and all the scientific researchers really 97% across the board convinced that we're the ones that are causing this change that we're witnessing? Or is it more so that they need to keep their funding intact? You tell me. Just something to think about. And the reason I say that is because the more research that you do, if you don't just blindly follow whatever somebody tells you and you actually start looking into things yourself and you start going back real far, you start to kind of get the idea, without proof, but you start to kind of get the idea that maybe this planet goes through some cycles and there's nothing we can do about it. And that maybe that there's an aspect to that that makes certain researchers and scientists a little concerned. That maybe it's easier and it's better to believe that we're the ones causing this damage and that we're the ones that are responsible for fixing the damage on this planet. When in reality, maybe we could have some minuscule impact on what's going on, but in the grand scheme of things, in the big picture, we have absolutely no influence over what happens. Water's gonna melt, or ice is gonna melt, water's gonna rise. There's nothing we can do about it. Just look into it a little bit. I'm not going to sit here and give you all the information because I want this to be a short video. But I encourage you to look into the cyclical changes that this planet goes through over the course of what is speculated to be every few thousand years. So the timeline is so vast that we don't even have a lot of documented proof or evidence to support what this possibly could be. But if you were to kind of put that in line with some of the things that are seen in archaeological finds and some things that are written during biblical times, it starts to make a little bit of sense. Because I'm not a religious person. I've already said I'm not a religious person. But what if every few thousand years something happens on this planet and everything just changes? Just like that. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. Because that is the cycle that this planet goes through. It's like a little boop reset button. Maybe that's why we're trying to get to Mars. Maybe that's why we're trying to build hotels out there in space. Maybe there's a handful of people up there, up high up that really know what's going on. And they know that something's coming and we have to develop the ability to be able to at least get some of us off this planet. To try to salvage the race. Because most of us are not going to make it. I don't know if that's supposed to be in the next few hundred years, a couple thousand years. I don't know. It's just a thought project. Something to think about. But my personal opinion is that I have a hard time knowing all the crazy things that this planet has supposedly been through. That it is unlikely that humans and our technological advancement are solely responsible for all the damage that's happening right now. Especially when there's proof that maybe that there have been civilizations here way before we even got here. There are also either as technologically advanced or more technologically advanced than we are right now. I don't know. Maybe they have more smarter energy uses, or avenues to produce energy. I don't know. There's evidence that leads to that, points to that too. That there are ancient civilizations that predates the ancient Egyptians that probably had a cleaner and smarter way of producing power than what we do now. But hey, that's a different conversation. This is about global warming. I am not saying that global warming and climate change is not happening. It is happening. I am saying that I am skeptical that we are the ones that are causing it. Because overall, we like to think we know everything. We like to think we have the answers. Maybe sometimes we just don't. Maybe we like to think we can fix everything. Maybe sometimes we just can't. Maybe we just got to deal with what's happening. And it just is what it is. Because it's all part of the process. That's a scary idea, right? Sometimes you just got to deal with whatever's coming to you and there's not any whole lot you can do about it. But, yeah, I just don't think that we've been here long enough to be able to say, this is what's causing it. That's what we're doing. Maybe. Maybe not. Something to think about.